Hello and welcome to Let's Talk with Bishop R.C. Blakes. R.C. is an author, empowerment teacher, and the proud pastor of the New Home Ministries of New Orleans, Louisiana, and Houston, Texas. His message circles the globe. His conversational and candid approach to challenging content makes him a relevant voice to all generations. Get ready for a life-changing transformational conversation.
Hello, and welcome again to Let's Talk with R.C. Blakes. It is, of course, my pleasure and honor to be able to share with you all again today. Now, I would love for you to invite someone to come in and to be a part of this conversation today, because I believe this is going to help. This is going to help a lot of sisters, and this message today is really directed at the women today. And I've kind of been struggling with the title of this message or this conversation, but what I want to talk about in a nutshell are three things that are clear. Maybe that's not a good word. Three things that are indicators. Clear is not a good word, but three things that are indicators of a man that is really serious. Because women many times have a struggle with determining, the game from the sincere. And so what happens is, on many occasions, you find yourself falling for the game, having thought it was something serious when it was just game. And then watch this. On the flip side of that coin, you find yourself rejecting what's serious and I was going to say settling, but you're actually falling for the game. So what does a man that is serious, what does he look like? What is that energy like? Because this is largely about energy. It has a lot to do with how this man makes you feel, not in a physical, sexual, erotic sense, but how does he make your spirit feel? Does this man bring a calm to you? Does he bring a rest to your soul? Or are you struggling with a lot of anxiety? On the surface, you see what you want, and you go after that when you're, shallow. But then as you're pursuing that, there's, your spirit is disquieted. Your soul is out of balance and, in a frenzy. So when you start talking about a man that's serious and a man that's healthy, it has a lot to do with the energy that he brings into your life and how that man makes your soul and your spirit feel. Now, you have to get beyond the superficial to really tap into this. This is how you can have a man that is serious and look over him, ignore him even, for a man that's just running game. Now, if you look in Proverbs 20 and verse 6 in the Amplified, it says, "Many a man proclaims his own loyalty and goodness, but who can find a faithful and trustworthy man?" A man that's really serious, a man that is authentic, a man that is honest, a man that is sincere, a man that actually is on the inside what he's projecting to be on the outside, a man whose character coincides with his present behavior. He's not just an actor, but he's genuine, he's authentic. A whole lot of people can proclaim they're good, they're loyal, they want you, they're gonna wife you up and all of this kind of thing, just to get you to let your guard down, get you into a sexual position, abuse you sexually. And it is abuse for somebody to take advantage of you sexually under the guise that this is going somewhere, and they know in the front of their minds, not even in the back of their minds, they already know that it ain't going no further than the bedroom or the hotel room. A lot of folk can proclaim it, but who can find a faithful man? Now, when you think about a man that that would be sincere, a serious man. I was walking through the mall actually recently, and for some reason I had this thought. I looked at a toy that was in the window or something, and I had the thought of when I was a kid, and there were, a million toys that were given to me, figuratively speaking, a million toys that were given to me that I absolutely, I was crazy about these toys. I loved these toys, but they didn't last long. They were I either broke them up, I lost them, or I just put them away. Because watch this, my love, really my infatuation for the toys was not enough. If I had really had a full and complete and whole love for the toys, a lot of those toys would have probably still been here today and probably would have been worth a lot of money. But because I was a child, I thought like a child, I behaved like a child. And so I had this infatuation with the toy initially, but it was soon done away with in one way or another. Now, my infatuation / love for the toy was not enough. Why did I abuse the toy? Why did I lose the toy? Why did I throw the toy away? I did not really value the toy. I didn't value the toy because I didn't have to pay for the toy. And because I didn't value the toy, I didn't honor the toy. This is how a child can take a brand new toy and leave it in the yard and let the rain and the sun beat upon it, for weeks before he or she goes to retrieve it, only to discover the weather's ruined it. It's because their infatuation was not coupled with or partnered with a proper evaluation of the toy, and it was not accompanied with honor for the toy. And for some reason, I had this thought in my mind when I was thinking about how men deal with women and how women are looking for, waiting on a man that is the real deal, a man that can come into her life and, really be the husband, really be the man. And she's not understanding these things that have to go together. He has to, number one, not just be infatuated with you, but he has to actually love you. And you have to get beyond viewing love as some sexual attraction. Because a man is sexually attracted to you is not an indication that he loves you. Just like my being infatuated with the toy was no indication of real love, because had I loved the toy, I would have valued the toy, therefore I would have honored the toy. And some of those toys would be passed down to even my grandchildren today. But because I was infatuated and not really in love with the toy, I didn't value it, I didn't honor it. Therefore, I discarded of it. So for a woman that's waiting to, accept or choose a man that is really suitable and healthy for her, you need a man that loves you. Here are the three things, and then we're going to kind of dig a little deeper into each of them. You need a man that values you, and then you need a man that honors you. Hitting you on the bottom and all of this sexual talk and all of this stuff here and talking about, just talking about sex and all of this all day long, that's no indication that he loves you. It's certainly not an indication that he values you, and it's not an indication that he honors you. It's just an indication that he wants to have your body. So many times, listen to this very carefully. Many times the men that have this full capacity of manhood don't necessarily have the bells and whistles of the six-pack, the 6'3", the 195, the 8%, 5% body fat, the tall, dark, and handsome. Sometimes the man that really has the full capacity to embody these three components, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that wrapping necessarily. He doesn't look that way. But if he gets an opportunity, if he really gets a chance to, really present himself, you discover that he may be 5'10" on the outside, but he's 7 feet tall in his heart. And his energy, if you would stop to pay attention to the energy of a man. See, a lot of you are running behind the looks of a man and all of the stuff he's portraying about how much money he got and all of this kind of thing. And you're not stopping to pay attention to the energy. The energy has you disrupted. The energy of the man has you in a frenzy, has you frantic. But because you've been conditioned not to look at that, many times you are passing over the man that has the full capacity to be everything that you need. And you're settling. What you call settling is really many times you passing over a man that has everything you need to really make your life healthy and whole and peaceful. And the stuff you think that he's the one, you're really settling. Now, the test, again, the real test for you as the woman is in having the patience to wait for the right kind of man, to stay feminine, and to let the process run its course. And not jump the gun, rushing out here trying to create something. It also requires that the woman renew her mind about what's attractive to me. Every woman should ask yourself, now what am I really attracted to? And then really do a deep dive into that thing and dissect that thing. What am I really attracted to? Am I attracted to poison? Am I attracted to, abusers? What am I really attracted to? These qualities are observed from the internals of the man: love, value, and honor. They are observed from the internals of the man. If you are a superficial woman, you'll probably miss this kind of man every time. I dare say some of you all have pushed this kind of man away a few times. A man that can really love you, really value you, and a man that can really honor you. I dare to say that many of you have pushed this kind of man away many times. Now, let's dive into number one, a man that, what does a serious man look like? What kind of energy does a serious man bring to the table? Number one, he loves you. He's not just infatuated. He's not just turned on sexually. He doesn't just like you, but this man actually loves you. He's attracted to you. He's affectionate towards you. He pays attention to you. Go to Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 5. And it describes the love that a husband type man would have for a wife. And see, a man has to be a husband before he's married, like a woman has to be a wife before she's married. So you don't wait until after the wedding to discover these qualities in a man. These qualities have to be in a man for a woman that he loves like a wife. These qualities will be in the man even in the dating process if the woman is encouraging this or not. In Deuteronomy 24 and 5, it says, when a man hath taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he hath taken. Now, letter A. When a man is serious, what a man is not just here trying to get you between the sheets. He's not just out here trying to, lure you into a sexual position, use you sexually, and then abandon you, but he's really serious about you and about this relationship. Letter A, he wants to invest his time. Notice how the word of God says here in Deuteronomy to the man that would be a husband, that you need to be prepared to put aside all warfare, all business in our current structure, and shall be free at home 1 year. He's willing to invest his time, not just to have sex. I'm not talking about not just time to have sex, but he's willing to invest his time. A man that is not serious is going to manage his time investment with you with excuses. He's going to have an excuse for everything. He'll have an excuse for this, why he can't go to church with you, why he can't go to the office party with you. Why y'all can't go here, can't go to dinner this time, but he never makes excuses when it's time to have sex. And then after he has sex, he's usually he has another excuse to get him out of your presence and moments after he's, done whatever he's going to do. Because a man that is not serious will manage his time investment with you with excuses. If you make him wait, for things like sex, he'll fall off. And then, after sex, he'll gradually give less and less time. Sometimes he'll go the extra mile just to get you to let your guard down to have sex. And then once you have it, you'll start discovering that this guy is coming around less and less and less. But a man that is serious, a man that is in love with you, is going to want to consume every moment. He's going to want to be around you unless you create an atmosphere where he doesn't want to be around you. Now, here's the serious thing. Now, so any man that's really serious, you don't have to beg him to come around. If you sitting there now and you dealing with a guy and you having to beg him to come see you, you're having to beg him every week, you're begging him to come see you, that man doesn't love you. Now, he ain't serious. That man is, he has something he wants. You're fueling or feeding it. And once he's, thoroughly fed or provided for, he's going to gradually fall off. But because any man that is really serious about you wants to be around you 24/7 until you create a climate where he doesn't want to be around you. Now, this is where, and I want you to hear this because this is important right here. This is where a woman has to check her own queen consciousness. When we start talking about a man that's serious is going to want to be around the woman he's serious about all of the time. He's going to want to be around her. But the woman is going to have to check her queen consciousness, because broken consciousness has programmed most women to view a man's serious pursuit as unattractive or too accessible, too needy, you call it. He round too much. He want to be round me too much. And you don't realize that that's really your broken consciousness speaking against something that is natural in the heart of a man that is very serious and would make a woman his wife. Because you've been so conditioned to view the bad boy approach to life as attractive, you don't realize that you are esteeming your own abuse. You've been subconsciously programmed to want a man that you have to almost run behind. So when you get a man that really loves you enough and is serious enough to actually want to be with you, that he doesn't get tired of being around you, you view that as unattractive. He always around. I'm tired. He all up in my face. I need a break. When a man is serious, he wants the woman's time and he freely gives his own. But what do you teach men? What do women teach men? Even good men. You train good men that to be too nice, to be too accessible, to want to be around all the time is going to bring out disrespect in her. And that's what a lot of women do. You get a great guy like this that really wants you and wants to be with you and is serious about the relationship, and then you begin to disrespect him. You begin to do things to him that you never would have done to the guy that, slept around on you, brought you all these STDs, put his hands on you, lied to you day in and day out. But a good man that is serious about you and wants to be with you all the time, because your soul is so broken, you don't even know how to receive that kind of treatment. So letter A, when a man loves you, he wants to invest his time. Letter B, he's focused on you. He's really focused on you. You don't have to compete for his attention. When you talk to him, he's looking at you. He's focused on you. He pays attention to your moves. He pays attention to your likes, your dislikes, looks you in your eyes consistently, because the eyes are what they call the windows to the soul. So when a man is serious, he communicates it with his eyes. He looks you in your eyes and you can see into his spirit. Now, sometimes, these con men, they'll look you in your eye too for a little while, but, they're not focused on you. That's just game. But I'm talking about a man that's really serious about you and really loves you. He's really focused on you. And he learns everything there is to know about you. And watch this again, if you've been conditioned by society and you're struggling with broken consciousness, you'll find this unattractive. You'll find this weak. And there's really nothing weak about this, because the strongest of men, when they really fall in love with a woman, or when they really love a woman, they want her time. She becomes the central point of his focus. And then letter C, he focuses on non-sexual affections. He ain't trying to, when a man really loves you, he's not trying to run you to the bed and do all of this stuff to you. No, he's focused on non-sexual attention. Holding hands, sitting and talking, long conversations on the phone, opening doors for you, just spending, giving you a lot of non-sexual attention. But again, if you've been conditioned by a perverted society, that comes across as weak to you. And so you may not be attracted to that. That may not be your type. The type of man that can really love you fully may not be the type of man that you're attracted to. But this is what happens when a man, and I'm speaking this out of what? Personal experience. This is what happens when a man is serious. When a man is not serious, he's not going to want to give you unlimited time. You're not going to be his entire and complete focus, and he's not that interested in non-sexual attention. He's not. You know, if it ain't leading, if it ain't going sexual real soon, you know, hasta la vista, I'm out of here, we're done. But when a man loves you, now what's number two? When a man is serious, he will love you. Number two, he will value you. See, it's getting deeper now. He's going to love you, and then piled on top of that, he's going to value you. And what does it mean to value? It means to recognize worth. It means to make a mental evaluation of a thing's purpose, value, and usefulness to you. So this man values you. He makes a mental evaluation, assessment, should I say, of your purpose in his life, your value in his life, and your usefulness to him. He sees you for what you are and what you actually bring to the table relative to him. When a man values a woman, here we go. When a man really values a woman and he's really serious about a woman, watch this. He will not continue to sabotage the relationship with stupid actions. Any man that continues to sabotage the relationship, doing one stupid thing after another, he does not value you. He probably doesn't even love you. A man just keep doing stupid things. He does not. Now, you know, all of us dudes at times can do some things that are a little off the wall, a little dumb. But once we know that these things hurt the woman that we love and value, because we value you so much, we change the things we do. But any man that continues to do the same thing over, he doesn't value you. Any man that has to constantly say, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, is either too stupid to learn or doesn't care enough to change. There's no value. So the man is going to love you. The man is going to value you. Now, letter A, undervalue. When a man values a woman, he's honest about his life, almost to a fault, to a point. He'll risk hurting himself being so honest. Because, and why is this? It's because when a man really values a woman, he becomes honest about, his past, his present life, because a serious man never wants to appear as an imposter to the woman he really loves and values. So before she catches it in the wind, before, she gets it from some other source, he will lay it all down. He'll lay it all out for her, because one of the signs of a man loving and valuing a woman is that he's honest with her. He doesn't hold anything back. He's not deceptive. He's honest with her. You can kind of get a glimpse of this from Samson and Delilah. If you look in Judges chapter 16 through 18, now Delilah didn't love Samson, but Samson, for some perverted reason, loved Delilah. He wanted Delilah. And he was honest with her to the point that it ruined his life, because he was honest with the wrong woman. But when a man loves a woman, he becomes honest. In Judges 16 through 18, Samson had this, supernatural strength given to him by God. Nobody knew the secret to it but Samson. And Samson was not supposed to share this with anyone. But with Delilah, she kept asking him, and she took advantage of his love. She knew that he loved her, and he valued her enough to give her his secret. And here it is, it's starting at verse 16. It says, and it came to pass when she pressed him daily with her words and urged him so that his soul was vexed unto death, that he told her all his heart and said unto her, there hath not come a razor upon mine head, for I have been a Nazarite unto God from my mother's womb. If I be shaven, then my strength will go from me, and I shall become weak and be like any other man. And when Delilah saw that he had told her all his heart, she sent and called for the lords of the Philistines, saying, come up this once, for he hath showed me all his heart. Then the lords of the Philistines came up unto her and brought money in their hand. And the story goes that they took advantage of Samson because she cut off the locks of his head, and he told her all the truth. Because one of the signs of a man valuing a woman is that he tells her his secrets. Letter B, under a man valuing a woman. A man that is serious values a woman. When a man values a woman, he's available. Kind of spins out of that time thing, but he's available. He's available to that woman. He's not torn between, this and that. I was sitting with one of my sons the other day who's a pastor, and I was saying to him that, the church and the ministry should not come ahead of your wife and your children. The church, your wife and your children should never compete with the church. Two different levels. Your first ministry is your wife and your children, and then all of the other stuff lines up under that. Because a man that loves a woman, a man that is serious, a man that is a husband, is available to the woman that he is husband to, that he would be husband to. If a man is never available, he ain't serious. Matthew 19:5 says, and said, for this cause shall a man leave father and mother, watch this, and shall cleave to his wife, and they twain shall be one flesh. Cleave to his wife, meaning what? Stick to her like glue. A man that is serious about a woman and about marriage, or a woman that's serious about a man in marriage, have the mindset that the two of you become each other's best friend. Now, I know that disrupts the way some of y'all live your lives. You got to live your life the way you want to live it. But ideally, a man should find his greatest friendship in his woman. And a woman should find her greatest friendship in her man. Doesn't mean that you can't have friends, BFFs and all that, whatever y'all call it. But your number one, your numero uno should be your woman, should be your man. Because when a man values a woman, he's always available. He's always present. He cleaves. They stick together like glue. There's nowhere that I'm going that Lisa can't go. If you don't want Lisa to come, don't invite me. Some places she chooses not to go because it's all dudes or whatever. But everybody understand, you don't send me no invitation and tell me, well, your wife can't come. Oh, you already know my answer. I won't be there. I don't need to go to that. Because I'm what? I'm always available because I cleave to my woman because I value her. Letter C. When a man values a woman, he wants to make it exclusive and public. I was just texting with a friend of mine who's a single but prominent pastor and minister, and even in music nationally and internationally. And he was talking about how some guy, he just, he wasn't even being flirtatious. He just liked a certain picture on, I think, Instagram or something like that, of a young lady that follows him. Wasn't nothing, she wasn't in no compromised position or nothing like that. He just liked the picture. And some guy comes into his DMs and challenging him about liking his woman's picture. But then he goes back to the woman's profile. There's no record of the man. Goes to the man. There's no record of the woman on the man's profile. When a man really values you, he's going to make it exclusive and public. He's not going to allow you to be out here and run the risk of being determined as single because there's no definition to y'all's relationship. When a man really values you, you ain't got to beg him to make it public. He's going to tell you, this got to be public. Yeah, everybody got to know that you're my woman. Any man you got to beg to make it public, you got to beg him to put a picture of you, you need to second guess that. You need to really ask some questions relative to that. Listen to what 1 Corinthians 7:2-4 says. Nevertheless, to avoid fornication, let every man have his own wife. Every man wants his own wife. And let every woman have her own husband. But every man, let him have his what? Own wife. When a man values you, he's going to want to make you his public and personal wife, not a girlfriend. Not a girlfriend. He ain't gonna just sit there and just be settling for girlfriend. I was watching one of these reality shows and the boy had this girl tied up for 14 years, talking about boyfriend, girlfriend. He still don't know. He don't want to be pressured into marrying. 14, I said 10, 1, 2, 3, 14 years, and he said he just don't want to be rushed into marrying. You've occupied almost 2 decades of this woman's life. All right, letter D. He will always have a conversation about when a man values you. He will always have a conversation about getting intimate over manipulation. In other words, when a man is serious and he values you, he will approach sex from a very respectful place. He will never try to run game. He will never try to force you or to control you. He will never put you in a position where he has to come over to watch some movies and then he's trying to, manipulate your clothing and all of this kind of thing here. No. When he loves you and he values you, he will only approach a sexual encounter from a position of understanding and conversation. It's going to be important to him that you are 100% comfortable. Any man you have in your life that is constantly pulling for something that you're constantly telling him, I'm not ready, and you got to tell him this every time you see him, this man doesn't value you. In fact, about it, he's really disrespecting you. Because when a man loves you and when a man values you and when he's serious, he's playing the long game. He's not trying to get some sheets for the night. He's trying to get him a wife for life. And so he really takes his time and he has the conversations and he makes certain that this is something that you are really comfortable with. He may desire you like all get out, but it's never going to push him beyond whatever you're comfortable with. If he values you and if he's serious, he will always have conversation about intimacy. It will never be a forced proposition. It will never be something that he manipulates you into. Because he's what? Serious. So a man that is serious, he's going to love you. He's going to value you. And then thirdly, he's going to honor you. We talk a lot in the church about the woman's submission, how the Bible talks about a woman should submit to her husband and so forth and so on. And I believe that, we believe that in our home, you know what I mean? But the thing we fail to teach is that in a marriage, submission is the second step. The first step is the man's honoring of the woman. When a man honors the woman properly, submission is a natural response. We jump to the woman must submit before we stop by base number one. The man must honor the woman. And what does it mean to honor? To honor means to have high respect. It means to have great esteem. It means to treat you according to your worth and to put you in a special place. It's called honor. You know, it's the love a man has for his mama. He ain't gonna talk to his mama unless he got some screws loose. He ain't gonna talk to his mama no any kind of way. He'll walk off and leave out of the house before he talks crazy to his mama. Or when a man honors his woman, there's certain things he's gonna say, certain things he's not going to say, even if he's angry. He's not gonna behave in certain ways because he honors you. He's not gonna treat you dishonorably. And see, there are many women who are really struggling hard with this broken consciousness, and dishonor is your norm. It's your dysfunctional norm. You're accustomed to a man cursing you out, putting his hands on you, lying to you, cheating on you, and some of y'all going through all of that and still planning the wedding. You're going through all of that and you're still planning the wedding. What does it look like when a man honors you? Letter A, he has a heart to provide financially. He wants to provide. So watch this. Let me help you out. Any able-bodied man you got that is comfortable not having a job and not providing for you, any able-bodied man you have that doesn't have any ambitions or goals to elevate his financial position, he may not be serious, because when a man is serious, the first thing he starts to think about is his money. He wants to get his money right because he wants to provide for you. If a man is not concerned about the money, he ain't serious. And he may go through a wedding and all of that, with the idea that you're going to take care of him. He know you making 6 figures a year, so he's banking on your income. You his come up plan. But a man that's really serious about you, he ain't thinking about how much money you make. He's concerned about how much money he's going to make, and he's going to try to create a lifestyle that he can provide for. Because a man that is serious about you, loves you, values you, and honors you, has a heart to provide financially. 1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. I see a lot of these so-called Christian brothers that's sitting around letting women take care of them. And the sadder part is that the women are comfortable taking care of you. There you have a confusion of energy. You got masculine and feminine energy in the wrong bodies. She got the masculine, he got the feminine. He's sitting there being cherished. She the one doing the cherishing. Women today bowing down, asking men to marry. Okay, let me leave that alone. But he has a heart. When a man honors you, he has a heart to provide financially. Money. You need money in a relationship. Lisa. I thought she was there. I was going to ask her, do we need money to keep these lights on around here?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
We just put 2 more children through college. What put them through college? Was it just love or was it money?
Money.
Thank you, ma'am. He has a heart to provide financially. That was my objective when I asked that woman to marry me. I said, I'm going to take care of this woman. Now, Mind you, at the time I married her, she making more money than me, much more money than me. But I said in my heart, I'm going to take care of this woman. And when she got pregnant with Rachel, said, well, I asked her, said, you know, are you cool with staying home to take care of Rachel for a little while? Because so many weird things were going on in the daycares. She said, yeah, I'll do it. And she stepped back from her job for a minute. Well, here we are almost 24 years later, you know, that she did that, and I've still been taking care of her. I've provided, because when a man honors a woman, he has a heart to provide. Now, letter B. When a man honors you, he seeks to make you happy. He seeks to make you happy. He wants to do whatever it takes to make you happy. Seriously. He wants to do whatever it takes to make you happy. Going back to Deuteronomy 24:5, when a man had taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife which he hath taken. Take that time to learn what makes his woman happy. You see. Now here's the kicker. You can't become so accustomed to a man that devotes himself to making you happy that you feel entitled to that, or you get to a point that you take it for granted and you don't even recognize it, and you just handle it like it's some light thing, because you don't miss that kind of man until you've driven him away. But a serious man, he wants to know what makes you happy. You know, sometimes he'll get on your nerve because he's trying to figure out what makes you happy. That is the concern of a man that has a heart to honor a woman. Letter C. He never lets you do all of the sacrificing. Yeah, you bending over backwards, you coming back, bending back again, you doing all the ripping and running, you doing the driving, you always coming to meet him, you know, and I mean, it's in a woman's nature to sacrifice and to do whatever for her man and for her children when she's really feeling it and she loves him. But, you know, a man that's serious about you is never going to let you do all of the sacrificing, because good women, again, often don't know how to put themselves first. So a good man will balance you out by putting you first even when you don't like it. You won't even be comfortable with it. But a good man will put you first and balance out that imbalance that many women have of putting everybody and everything else ahead of themselves. You're not even last. You're not on the agenda at all. So a good man never lets a woman that he's really interested in do all of the sacrificing. If there's driving to be done to go see one another, or if there's flying to be done to go see one another, he's not going to let you make all of the flights. He's not going to let you do all of the driving. In fact, he'll probably insist on doing most of the driving, if not all of it. And that would be in order. It would be out of order for you to be doing all of the driving, because a good man never lets the woman he's serious about do all of the sacrificing. Ephesians 5:25, husbands, love your wives, even as Christ also loved the church, and what gave himself for it, or sacrificed himself on the cross for it. A man that would be a husband that would be serious about you is a man that would demonstrate from the early on stages the heart to sacrifice. If you have a man that is selfish, self-centered, and never sacrifices, you may need to rethink this. All right, let's see. Let's see. Letter D would be, he handles you gently and patiently. You should always pay attention to a man when he's displeased or angry with you. A man that would be worth your time, worth moving forward with, is a man that even when he's angry, even in his angry moments, there's nothing about his demeanor that makes you afraid. That there's a gentleness even in his anger. He doesn't fly off the handle and disrupt everything and make you, no, 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 no. He always handles you gently and patiently, because he what? Honors you. Colossians 3:19 says, husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them. Husbands are never bitter against their wives. Does it mean that a husband doesn't get angry with his wife? Of course it doesn't mean that, because I get angry with that woman a whole lot. But I never get to a place where I'm not dealing with her respectfully, gently, patiently. I'll go off and take a ride before I do that. And then here we are, letter E. He desires marriage. And see, this is a conversation that you're going to pretty much have with this guy probably third date, if not second date with this guy. He's going to let you know, I'm looking for a wife. I'm not out here trying to be a serial dater. I'm not just looking to score. I'm not looking for just another woman to knock down. I want to be married, I need one woman I can come home to for the rest of my life. I want a woman I can build with. He desires marriage. And he articulates that. You ain't got to pull that out of him. He articulates, I desire marriage. See, like when I was a kid with those toys, if I really loved those toys, I would have valued those toys. I would have understood what this toy really meant or means to me in that moment. And then my evaluation or estimation of the toy's value to me would have caused me to honor the toy. I would have saved the box. I would have cleaned the toy off and I would have put it in the box and put it in a certain area. But I don't hold it against myself, because children are not built to think like that. Children are not built to love, value, and honor. And so it is. Sometimes you have a grown boy who is not mature enough to love, value, and honor. But it's your fault if you choose that grown boy and look over a grown man. Hope you got something out of this conversation tonight. I really do. I really do. Let me pray for you. Father, I thank you for everyone that is hearing this message tonight. And now, God, my prayer is that you will give them wisdom and understanding relative to the things we've discussed. Anything that is out of order, Father, we thank you for dismissing and disrupting it. And now, Father, I thank you for giving them peace, even in the process, that they don't feel rushed and that they don't feel pressured. And God, I thank you for giving each of them a contentment within themselves and with you, that they understand that their value transcends their relational status, and give them the ability to wait patiently on you to do what only you can do. In Jesus' name, amen, amen, amen. Now listen, I have thoroughly enjoyed delivering this message to you today. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to go to my website, rcblakes.com, sign up for my mailing list, check out my online programs that are there. Go to Amazon, check out all of my books, support us in that way. Thank you to all of you who have given and supported the ministry tonight. Those of you that may need counseling, there's a link in the description for BetterHelp Counseling. If you hit that link, it'll afford you 10% off of the cost of their counseling. I'm not a counselor. And they, in turn, for the referral, will make a deposit into R.C. Blake's ministries. So my prayer is that something was said tonight that has transformed the way you see things and the way you think in your process. And I pray that God will give you clarity relative to how you move in life and in relationships. But until next time, I'm R.C. Blake's Jr. saying to you on behalf of me and Lisa, you're on top and you're going higher. God has more in store for you. So guess what? We will see you at the top. God bless you now. Until next time.
We here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you for spending this time with us today. R.C. and Lisa are always honored to have you with us. Don't forget to reach out to us by visiting our website at www.rcblakes.com. While you're there, you may join our mailing list and receive a free download of The Laws of Manifesting Your Vision by R.C. Blakes. Also look at all of the online programs by R.C. You may find all books written by R.C. and Lisa. Once again, all of us here at R.C. Blake's Ministries want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And as we always say, see you at the top.